but
Yep.
Bryan Danielson, versus Anthony Bowens. Everybody loves the Acclaimed, and that is a fact.
Facts.
And we want more Acclaimed on TV, period. Give us the Acclaimed. It was a great way to start the show. This team, man, I turned the page real quick when they were debuted. And, Ricky Stark says they're coming up on your first year debut or first year anniversary as a team. And early on, I was anti-Acclaimed, but quickly, with Crayfish's guidance, I was all aboard the Acclaim train, and everybody loves them, man. What did you think of that, Caster's promo coming to the ring?
Caster always delivers, and it always makes their matches so funny because you think about his raps for like a little bit as the match is going along, and then like depending on what they're doing, whether it's a tag match or a singles match, but like with Bowens or Caster, you're just thinking like, oh man, that was super funny, and then they get into their stuff, and it's awesome because we got to see a showcase of Anthony Bowens tonight, and we don't get to see that all the time on television. And this is a big guy he's got a really cool moveset and interesting and good in the ring and is good at telling stories. And I loved his match with Danielson. I think that Danielson let him do some awesome offense on him tonight, and it was just a really good showcase of what Bowens can do. I really enjoy his work. And Danielson can make anybody look like $1 million. Not that Bowens needs it, but it was just a good, smooth, just awesome match. What would you expect from these guys? There wasn't really any surprises. We got to see some interference from Caster, and we got to see some other good stuff. And it's like, it's just a standard, like good Acclaimed Bowens match with Danielson. And that's just like an awesome combo. So I'm happy. I don't really have anything to critique the match about. It was just a good match to start the show. I really enjoyed it.
Well, I agree. Anytime you hit that, Bryan Danielson music, the crowd's going to be on their feet nonstop, and we were there for it live as well, so we know the feeling. But yes, I think this was more of a showcase for Bowens than it was for Bryan Danielson, and Bowens knew DDT in that corner, calling it the Arrival. I really like that move, man. That was a nice little addition to his arsenal, and Starks is adding such a nice layer to the. Adding a nice layer. That is right, Thunder. I called this, not to shift gears, Dynamite Download weeks ago, but actually before All Out, I was predicting a Team Thunder / Team Brit 3-on-3 with the returning Anna Jay. And so, when Anna Jay was on the shelf, I was hoping that, you recruit Ty Conti and then Anna Jay would be the surprise guest to kind of put down Team Brit in that. And now we're finally getting it on Dynamite next week.
Tony Khan watches the show, obviously.
Yes. It's a go-home show for a Full Gear. And this is just going to really add some nice stipulations to that TBS tournament when we see the 3-on-3. I really can't wait for that one. Yeah. Obviously, we know the feud between Thunder and Brit, and we know it's the feud of AEW. And they've been kind of shying away from it. Excalibur does a great job planting those seeds, and Tony Schiavone, those little seeds that, getting Thunder as the 1-up win. You have, and then, she's still ranked number 1 and, ranked high, ranked up there, plant those seeds, but there hasn't been that face-to-face. And we saw that last week, and now we're going to see it again this week. So it's giving us that slow, as we like to say here at Dynamite Download, stretching it out, that slow build for that ultimate payoff with Thunder Rosa and DMD, which we cannot wait. And that road to that starts next week on Dynamite. And so, but back to the opening match, Bryan Danielson, and thank you so much for joining us. We love seeing you in the chat, Thunder. We are Team Thunder here at Dynamite Download all day, shades included. We are rocking the same shades as well, for sure. But Bowens, man, everybody loves the Acclaim. This guy, I think, obviously between the two, he's got a little bit more in-ring, pizzazz, and I love that about him and both those guys. And Caster makes that perfect stooge on the ringside. He's the facial expressions and all that. And so I think it really worked well. And it won't be a Bryan Danielson match without some good chops and some good kicks, and we sure got that as well.
We got a little bit of everything tonight. It was great.
I loved it. Good way to, feature the Acclaimed. And, Bryan Danielson is one of the more active workers in the ring as of late. And I was, texting you guys that. I'm like, man, he is getting booked a lot, which I'm not complaining because he's
those wins for that ranking, man.
He's my top. He's one of my top wrestlers of all time. But
Yeah.
I know there's, been critiques of another brand of overworking someone. I know the schedule's a little different, and we're seeing Bryan Danielson again fight coming up soon, and then he's going to be, at Full Gear. So he's on pretty much every television show.
Yeah.
So do you think they're overworking him, or do you think this is still a nice pace for him?
No, I don't think they're overworking him because I enjoy the new matchups. I like what they're doing, and I also understand that the ranking system matters, and we have to like remember that. If he's going to be in main events, he has to get wins and he has to be undefeated and keep moving up the rankings. And obviously, like he's already got that match with Miro to see if he's going to face whoever's the champion after Full Gear. But we also have to remember, like, he's got to earn that opportunity. He's got to earn the stripes in AEW.
Right.
Well, we know him from his work in WWE mostly, and he's earned his stripes in the wrestling business for a long time. That ranking system matters, man, and they got to push that down our throats, and it's smart because that's how you build these guys up. And you got to have that hierarchy in that way. So I kind of understand it. I understand that they have to give him these matches to help
Sure.
him boost the ranking. Makes sense, and I like seeing Bryan Danielson because every match he has is awesome. So
It really
I'm
is.
cool with it either way. I do think that there is something to be said about exposing somebody by having them on TV too much. Without them doing certain storylines and stuff, like there's not really stuff going on. I get it. Like there's been criticism of Punk in that regard, where he hasn't really had anything going on storyline wise until now.
Right.
Um, and we can get into that in a second. But I do think that with Danielson, it's a little different than Punk. There wasn't that long hiatus in the ring. There's not any ring rust. He looks like the man still, and they kind of
Does he
know that
ever?
he's a main event top 3 talent in the company. So you have to kind of have him in that. You have to build him up to that.
Right.
And I love it. So I'm cool with
Earn
it.
his stripes.
Exactly. But moving on to